It's time for the Movie Now Deluxe Edition review for the Nintendo Switch. I had known about this game for quite a while, and even though it seems similar to the great party game Overcooked, my gut reaction was mildly interested, since there looked to be a heavy emphasis on cooperative puzzle gameplay, a subgenre I'm not too big a fan of. Now that I've played through it, however, was this game just as fun as a real day of moving? Let's find out. You are a fart, a furniture arrangement relocation technician, and after you complete your training module, you're set off to move people's furniture out of their abodes and into a moving truck. I'll just say it now, the game is much more fun as a couch party game. Sure, you can just play it by yourself, but teamwork is where it's at, and the game is 10 times more fun when you're playing with 3 others. When you arrive at a location, a timer will begin, and it's everyone's job to work together to fill the truck up with all essential moving objects. Not everything is required to be moved, and you can see which items you still need with the press of a button. Many items only require one person to move them, such as boxes and small pieces of furniture, but others require 2 people. These are where the true challenge comes into play. Each person can grab any side of an object and move with relative ease, but some pieces are quite difficult to maneuver around corners and other obstacles in the way. When you finally reach the truck, you can walk the object up, or better yet, just toss the thing in there and hope it stays in. Thankfully, you don't have to be careful with most objects. Furniture, appliances, animals, all of them can be thrown in the truck without fear of being damaged. A good strategy for many levels is to just throw stuff near the truck and have others complete the transportation. There are, however, certain red boxes that can break if not handled correctly. If broken, they will respawn where they were originally found. Oddly enough, they will only break if thrown anywhere except in the truck. They also won't break if other players catch them in midair, so communicating with your crew effectively is key. Regular items can disappear if you're not careful, such as if they drown in a pool or get incinerated. The timer that begins at the start of a level will continue to tick up, and the more time it takes you to complete a level, the less chance there is in obtaining a high score. Just before starting a level, a guide will show you how fast you need to be in order to get specific timing medals. The gold medal is basically impossible on your first attempt, but even if you've played a level over and over, it's still quite challenging to receive gold. Honestly, after beating the whole game, there wasn't one time we got a gold medal, as the game demands near perfection if you want the shiny. Obstacles are always present, but later levels add hazards such as water, fire, and guava juice. Many levels have puzzle elements such as buttons and switches that must be turned on and off multiple times in order to progress. These help change up the gameplay, but I think it would have been good to have temporary power-ups appear once in a while. Like maybe one that increases your strength to that of 2 farts so you can carry a heavy object by yourself. Or perhaps one that automatically and strategically reconfigures the current objects in the truck so that more open space is created for easier placement of incoming objects. Not having these power-ups isn't really a negative point, but had these been present, it would have increased the overall fun factor. The graphics are the same as Overcooked, cartoony and Looney Tune-like, which is perfect for this type of game. Unfortunately, there were instances of slowdown near the beginning levels, but interestingly, it played smoothly as we progressed through. There were also multiple instances of glitches, specifically where we had to shut down and restart the game in order for it to work again. I don't know what triggers it, but when we would begin a level, or sometimes be in the middle of one, all of a sudden none of us were able to pick up anything. Our arms would be stretched out like we were ready to pick up, but the actual picking up part didn't happen. Fortunately, it was a quick fix, and regarding the controls, they were fine for the most part. Unlike in Overcooked, there seemed to be a very slight delay in controlling your character. This made it feel like we were playing on ice physics much of the time. It wasn't too noticeable for the most part, but when you were trying to be precise on a platform, this is when it really stood out and it got frustrating quickly. One good point about the controls was when 2 players threw an object. At the correct moment, only one person has to let go of the throw button in order to toss it. We at first thought both people had to do it at the same time, which, if I'm being honest, would have made more sense and perhaps add to the overall team-working strategy, but the game is difficult enough with all the other things you have to work through, so overall, I like that this controlling mechanic is a thing. The game has some good humor with what the characters say and the places they visit. I like that their boss is a sentient cardboard box with crayon facial characteristics. Bonus arcade levels are unlockable as you play through. These are fun and adds to the overall content quantity. I like how there are hidden objectives when you first start a level, but they'll become visible after you play at least one round. It got to the point that we became somewhat aware of what might be a hidden objective in a level without seeing what they actually were, which made levels even more fun. The game is fairly short. It only took about 6 to 7 hours to complete the main campaign, but as mentioned before, there's lots of replayability. This is also the Deluxe Edition, which comes bundled with extra characters and levels to play. The levels are set in a tropical island getaway, and new level mechanics are present as well to increase the overall variety. Moving Out Deluxe Edition is a fun local party game, but because you have to work even more cooperatively with others compared to Overcooked, I think I like Overcooked better. Some of the missions are borderline impossible unless you play it near perfectly, and even getting a silver rank was quite challenging. The extra tropical levels helps with the content quantity and overall quality, but after completing it once, I'm not really eager to play it again. Still, it's a fun party game if you're playing with the right people. Even though the glitches we experienced were annoying and the controls could have been polished just a bit more, having all the characters have positive attitudes and express their love of moving with their unlimited stamina, it's just like moving in real life.
It's moving day! Nothing says thanks, buddy, like a $5 Little Caesars hot and ready.
Work, maggots! Move my furniture! Hurry up! Be careful with that! Yes, work for me!
This game gets a 3.5 out of 5 with the title of good.